So, Planet 9. Have you guys heard about the Planet 9 thing? Yeah. Astrophysicists have discovered another planet in our solar system. I think it's really, it's cool. It's amazing. I mean, you know, we've known all of the planets. We've named all of the planets since like 1860 or something. And with the Hubble Space Telescope that's been out there for years, you know, photographing way beyond our solar system, you know, deep into space, all that time, all that observation, and yet, here was this planet. Twice the size of Earth, you know, and we just hadn't come across it. It's kind of mind-blowing, I think. And, you know, as you might imagine, the conspiracy theorists have kind of gone overdrive, you know. They're really having a field day with this. Let me tell you, I was looking into this and I just fell down this deep rabbit hole of crazy. One YouTube video after another, one theory crazier than the next. Did you know that all of the governments of planet Earth have known about this, but are hiding it from us for one reason or another, depending on what theory you listen to? It's funny. But, you know, it does make you wonder, anything as like fundamental as how many planets there are in our solar system, something we learned when we were in elementary school, has been found inaccurate. It does make you wonder how many other things we accept as absolutely true and turn out to be not so much.
Well, you know, the world is flat.
Oh, yes! Remember, we believed that for a while. That was absolutely true. It's what?
Surrounded by the South Pole.
Okay. Our Earth is surrounded by the South Pole. Interesting. Here's a conspiracy theory for you. There has been a conspiracy for centuries. Yep. We've been told that God is out there somewhere. And that, you know, we've been told it's a he. He answers some people's prayers, but doesn't answer others. He listens to us sometimes, but most of the time not, because, you know, he's got way too many busy things, important things to do. We have been told that things kind of happen just sort of coincidentally, randomly in our lives. We've been led to believe that we're a victim of circumstance, powerless over the winds of fate. We've been led to believe that we're limited by our past, by our history. We've been told that we're the dust of the earth, insignificant. It's all been a lie. There's been a cover-up. You know? We have been taught to view the world from the outside in as opposed to the inside out. So what's the real truth? You know, the truth is that the world we see and experience emanates from us, and that there is an intelligent presence in the universe that responds to our thinking and our beliefs by reflecting back into our lives the form and experience. And that when we know that, we can then change our thinking and have a whole different experience, a greater experience. So why do you think that profound, that fundamental, you know, understanding of how the universe works has been kept from us? It's probably like the Planet 9 thing. You know, assumptions get passed down from generation to generation. People don't think to question. And we just hadn't come across this powerful understanding until now. Of course, we do know that there have been many masters, teachers, saints, sages throughout time that have known the truth, that have tried to teach us this truth for thousands of years. But mainly it's kind of fallen on deaf ears, or, you know, it's just been so incredibly radical, completely radical, that we just couldn't grasp it, so we misunderstood, misinterpreted what was said to us. For example, the Dhammapada, the first verse in the Dhammapada, which is a collection of Buddhist sayings from 2,500 years ago, says, all experience is preceded by mind, led by mind, made by mind. Speak or act with a corrupted mind, and suffering follows as the wagon wheel follows the hoof of the ox. All experience is preceded by mind, led by mind, made by mind. Speak or act with a peaceful mind, and happiness follows, like a never-departing shadow. That's it. 2,000 years ago, Jesus told us, ask, believing that ye have received, and ye shall have. He also said, ye are gods. I have said you are gods. A little radical, maybe, for that time. For many people, that's too radical now. So we misinterpret a lot of things. About 100 years ago now, Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said this: apparently we live in two worlds, an invisible world of thoughts and a visible world of things. The invisible world of thought substance is the real world because it's the source of the world of things. And man stands between the two, handing out with his thoughts the unlimited substance of spirit. When man gets understanding of the right relation between the visible and the invisible in his mind and active in his thoughts, all his needs will be met. That's pretty profound. How many people really back then heard that? How many of us hear it now? It's like we hear these things, and we can also quote many other masters and sages and teachers who have said a similar thing in a different way. But we hear it, but do we live it? You know, even those of us in New Thought who understand it intellectually, are we living it? Are we living it? So, maybe it's that we just haven't been able to grasp it, or like Planet 9, we haven't had the tools with which to see it. But I'll tell you, things are really changing rapidly now. With the discovery of quantum physics, it's really like quantum physics has helped us make that quantum leap in understanding. The books that we are drawing from for this series, which is beginning in earnest today, this is the E cubed. Her first book is E squared, Pam Grout. She says, it's like we've been living in worldview 1.0. And now we're all kind of beginning to wake up and upgrade our understanding to worldview 2.0. So here's worldview 1.0, says that only what you can see, touch, taste, hear, and smell is real. Everything else is just imagination, it's just wishful thinking. In worldview 2.0, we are beginning to understand that in fact it's the energetic world, that quantum world, the world that we can't see with our eyes, we can't touch, we can't hear, that invisible is the source of the visible. It's where the visible world emerges. In worldview 1.0, we see the world as kind of a hostile place, an unfriendly place. We see limitation and hatred and fear as sort of a necessary part of the sort of the fundamental energy of the way the universe works. In worldview 2.0, we're understanding, no, we live in a friendly universe, that the divine has our back, that love is the foundational energy of the universe, that flourishing is the natural order of things, that opportunities abound. In worldview 1.0, we believe our good is out there somewhere. We got to struggle and compete to get our share. And when we have that share, boy, we better hold on to that before somebody or something takes away from us. Don't take away my little good I have here. In Worldview 2.0, we're beginning to understand that our good is within us, and it's limitless. In fact, we are an expression of limitless love, limitless joy, limitless abundance, limitless wisdom, limitless peace. We're an expression of it. In Worldview 1.0, we believe that we have very little control over our destiny, and that what we think about things really doesn't matter, it's just the way things are. In Worldview 2.0, we're beginning to understand that how we perceive things, how we perceive the events in our lives and in the world, that's the thing that shapes our destiny the most. So, it's time to install the upgrade. Let's all install the upgrade. Kick out that old one, delete those old files. It's time to install the upgrade. So, the whole premise of Pam's book that we're going to be studying and going over and using as inspiration for the next 7 weeks, it's kind of based sort of on scientific experimentation. In other words, we do the experiments. We don't accept anything on face value. We take these concepts and we, make a hypothesis, and then we do an experiment in our own lives to prove that theory to ourselves. And in the process, probably disprove, some previous assumptions that were erroneous. But we do the experiments ourselves, and we're going to do this together. We're going to have fun. This is going to be a community effort. We're going to do these experiments together, and Reverend Rosemary and I will be taking turns each week, whoever is speaking. We'll share what the spiritual principle is that we'll be working with this week, and then we're going to give you a lab report. You'll see that there is one already in your bulletin. And you take that lab report home and you write down your observations, your results of the experiment, and then you can either make a copy and bring it back to us, or just share your results. Another really good way to do this is to share your results on our Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, it's Unity Center of Peace. And if you're not on that page, why not? You should be. we actually post daily word almost every day. It's a good place to, get some inspiration and post your results. So let's share the results together of these experiments. Now, 2 weeks ago, when we had to cancel the service because of the ice, Reverend Rosemary we were sort of planning to introduce this idea then, but we did film her and then sent out an email that had a link to her talk. We also uploaded some of the assignment and the lab report for that, and I know a couple of you actually found it and actually downloaded it and actually started doing it. And so I'd love to hear in just a minute about some of your results if you would like to share it with us. But just first, before I do that, let me just share what the experiment is so that everybody gets it. Okay, so the first experiment is that you take a specific period of time, 48 hours is recommended, for the universe to prove to you that it is listening, that it's responding, and that you can receive it. So you make a request for a special gift or an unexpected blessing, or just a sign that, hey, it's here, it's available, it's listening, everything is working together for my good. This is real. That's what we're proving to ourselves. And you want to make this request in a place of meditation, or centering, whatever you do that helps you center in spirit and connect with your heart, connect with that source energy within you, because you want to kind of get beyond the doubts, oh, this is stupid, or why am I doing this, or God, this is selfish. Why am I, wasting God's time? Again, old worldview, that God's out there, that God's unresponsive. And you want to get past any, oh, I don't deserve to get a special, we want to get beyond that. So the best way to do that is to connect with Source in meditation or whatever spiritual practice you do. Make the request and then open yourself. Open. Stay in expectation. You kind of want to put the skepticism off on the shelf for 48 hours. You can come back later and get that skepticism if you want, a little later after this is done. But just for now, for these 48 hours, stay open and, pay attention. So I'll share kind of how I did this, just to give you a concrete example. So I started this experiment on Monday, 8 a.m. in meditation. I was in meditation, I thought, okay, let's just do this. Make the request. And so the universe has until Wednesday at 8 a.m. to fulfill that request. That's it. At the end of that, over. So I'm in meditation, I'm open, I'm willing to receive. After meditation, I usually, most days, go and take my dogs for a walk, a run. We actually run together. And so that day was no different. And I got the running gear on and the leashes on. The moment I walked out of the door, I got it. And I thought, wait a second. Maybe this is, it's just too soon. The universe is like, yeah, come on. I thought, I gotta, come on, it's too early. So, but no, indeed, I realized a little later that this was indeed it. So let me just sort of give you a little background to why this was special to me. I love the sound of geese, Canadian geese, as they're flying in the distance. There's something about that cooing, that sound that they make, that just fills me with peace. And if I get a chance to see them as well as hear them at the same time, see them flying in formation, it's like the whole world stops. And I just get that chance to experience fully that delight, that enjoyment of this world. It's just such a beautiful experience. So, I get the leashes, get the dogs, walk out the door. The moment I walk the door, an entire flock of Canadian geese fly right over my head. And they were not a soft cooing. It was a really loud thing because they were there right over my head. Wow, I just went, oh my God, that's amazing. Never happened before. And so for me, that was it. That was the sign that the universe is like, I'm listening, I'm here, here's your gift, here's what you love. Now see, for other people, that might not mean much, and this is the point. It's not for other people, it's for you. So you know what is meaningful for you. You know what is special for you. And that's that gift, and you'll know it. So I'd like to open it up for anybody who has done this experiment to share